Volvo has been enjoying a well-deserved revival in recent years. Its distinctive design, safety-first reputation and increasingly high-tech powertrains have seen it steal ever more sales from the established premium rivals, which means that the S60 T8 plug-in hybrid model, complete with up to 36 miles of official electric running and 381 brake horsepower, has big things to live up to.
Yes, that's right, this is Volvo's answer to the BMW 330e, and I think Volvo is off to a very good start with the way this car looks. I think it looks great. Not only that, but the electric running of 36 miles is right up there with the BMW and the Mercedes C-Class plug-in hybrids as well, so all good there. However, the S60 T8 starts at around about £50,000, which is many thousands more than a mid-spec BMW or C-Class plug-in hybrid is going to cost you. Not only that, but we have got some reservations over the efficiency of this 2-litre supercharged and turbocharged petrol engine when you've used up that battery power. So, can this luxury plug-in hybrid Volvo possibly justify that price? And is it as efficient as you would expect it to be?
The Volvo S60 T8 gets an 11.6 kilowatt-hour battery, which will charge in under 6 hours from a standard 3-pin plug. It is annoying that you have to pay £50 extra for a Type 2 cable that allows the S60 to charge up at a public car charger or a home wall box, since that reduces the charge time to 3.5 hours. As with many plug-in hybrids, the Volvo's charging rate is capped at just over 3 kilowatts. So while the Type 2 cable allows you to plug into any of the very common AC Type 2 compatible stations, 3.5 hours is the fastest full top-up you'll get regardless of how powerful the charging point is. Otherwise, it's easy to plug the S60 in via the flap on the front wing, and the battery is warranted for 8 years and 100,000 miles.
One of the most important aspects of this car for anybody considering it is going to be how far it goes on pure electric running.
And the Volvo did really well, returning 29 miles even with half of our wintry journey being on the motorway. So you can expect to get well over 30 miles in warmer weather, and even get very close to the claimed range if you spend a lot of time in town. For the avoidance of confusion, our R-Design test car had the £745 Polestar engineered software upgrade. This ups the power from 381 to 395 brake horsepower. This is not the same thing as the full-fat S60 Polestar engineered model that is also available, but gets different suspension and far more. This software upgrade also doesn't affect the electric range on a standard R-Design S60, as the motor, battery pack and aero remain the same. Wheel size and trim will affect the electric range on any plug-in car, but the spec of our test car means that it should be capable of the full claimed 36 miles.
Not only that, but when the electric running is up and you've got no battery juice left, we are seeing some 36 mpg, which is actually not bad, especially given the power that this 2-litre turbocharged and supercharged engine is delivering, and that four-wheel drive powertrain. So given all of that, I'd say this is a very efficient car. Is it a fun car? Well, yes and no really. The performance on it is great. I mean, it absolutely fires up the road. It really does. And that in itself is good fun, and that engine sounds cool as well. But I must say that the handling on this car is absolutely fit for purpose and nothing more really. It's very sure-footed, it's very confidence-inspiring. There's not much feel to the steering though, and it's just not a car that makes you really want to sort of throw it down a really good road. But it is a car that makes you feel absolutely safe and secure, and it makes you feel happy to take advantage of the performance it offers, and it's a great long distance cruiser. And while I think the ride could be a fraction better, there's no air suspension or anything even available on this car. You just live with the suspension setup as it is. This car is on 18-inch alloys and it rides reasonably well actually, I have to say. I don't think you'd have any quibbles with it at all. So, sure, it's not the kind of car that you're going to really want to take the long way home in, but it is the sort of car that's going to take the stress out of a really bad commute. And I think that's probably what most people in this class are looking for, and the Volvo's really, really good at it. As I've mentioned, this car is pretty expensive, but it does go some way to justifying that with a really high standard spec. So you can only get the S60 T8 in R design or Polestar engineered. Now the Polestar engineered model has different suspension, different styling and all of that. R design is the one most people will go for, and it does get a lot of the stuff you'd want, including leather upholstery, adaptive LED headlights, keyless entry and go, front and rear parking sensors, traffic sign recognition, even a head-up display, although this car's got the heated windscreen spec, which actually deletes the head-up display, which is a bit of a shame. I also really like the driving position in the S60 because these seats are just second to none, and you do get electric adjustment and heated seats as standard, which is nice. The only things it doesn't get that I really think it should at the price are adaptive cruise control and a reversing camera.
You do, of course, get the colour driver's readout and this portrait-style touchscreen with nav, Bluetooth, digital radio and a couple of USB inputs that will allow you to charge or play the music from a connected phone. But it really is cheeky in the extreme that Apple CarPlay and Android Auto cost £300 extra. Overall, while the Volvo system is fairly easy to use and fit for purpose, it is still a way off what you get in most rivals. Still, the Volvo does offer a bit more space than its nemesis, the BMW 330e. There's a fraction more rear legroom and a bit more space in the boot too, although the lack of any proper cable storage in the Volvo is a real disappointment. If you need even more room than the S60 T8 offers, there is an estate version in the form of the Volvo V60.
The S60 T8 is gorgeous to sit in and to drive, so I sort of wish I could be a bit nicer to it, but it just doesn't justify the price despite that standard all-wheel drive and the equipment levels. And it's also a bit disappointing that it doesn't have that underfloor storage. It just feels a bit un-Volvo. So with all of that in mind, lovely as it is, I've got to say there are much better options in this class.
Head to DrivingElectric.com for all of the electric and hybrid car advice, news and reviews you could possibly want. And check us out on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. While you're here, don't forget to hit subscribe on our YouTube channel.